Hey y'all, it's Natalie for A Cherry on Top Crafts, and it's Technique Tuesday. This month we are focused on ribbons, lace, and twine. So I'm going to create a charm for the side of the scrapbook album. Here are a couple of examples of charms I've created in the past. Sometimes I like to add beads or something that tells you what's inside the album. This one is one I made with some UV resin. So for step one is to find the ribbon or lace or twine that you want to use. I'm even using here a strip of fabric. You can cut fabric into strips as well. I'm going to get a very eclectic mix. I'm actually really bad about hoarding ribbon. If it comes off of any packaging, sometimes I'll keep it. And so I have a really big assortment of ribbon. This is a nice velvet one, and I'm gonna go with some earth tones here with a few bright colors kind of sprinkled in. I also like to add beads sometimes. I'm not great at beading, but I'm going to show you how to make this one. It just has a few letter beads to tell you what is going to be on the inside of the album. It's the abbreviation of the national park we visited. And I'm just showing you a few things that you could pick to add to a charm. I have a disco ball. I have a wooden acrylic piece. I have a feather. A paper clip, just a charm for beading, all kinds of options. I even have a rock that we wire wrapped. My son and I were making crafts, and I was like, that could go on a charm. And then lastly, you need something to attach it to your album. You can use a lot of options. For a really chunky one like we're gonna make today, a binder ring is a really good option. But you can also use like a keychain, lobster claw. I have another type of keychain little assortment. I will put a bunch of options in my links on the gallery when I upload this project, so you can see all kinds of different options that you could choose. So I'm going to thread a needle with some of my really thin twine, and I'm going to wrap it around this charm, and then I'm going to kind of hold it in place with a bead. These fun beads from Cousin DIY were in a cherry box a while back, and they have a couple of colors that are really great for this collection of twine that I'm using. And I'm just using some letter beads, some alpha beads, and if you're into tailor and you've been making friendship bracelets, you probably have some of these. But I just chose the letters of the abbreviation of the national park that we visited. And I'm finishing it off with another bead. And so you don't even have to use like wire or like worry about wrapping or anything like that. I'm using knots and just tying things up. Now I'm measuring the spine of my album and deciding how long I want it. I'm just eyeballing it. And so I decided I want my tassel to be 6 inches. So I'm going to kind of roughly cut all of my twine and yarn and ribbons and everything to 12 inches. And so that way when you fold them in half, your tassel will be 6 inches, and you won't even have to trim anything off. You can trim it off if you want everything to kind of be even, but mine, the look I'm going for is very rough. So I end up not even trimming it off at the end. So right now I'm just worrying about, measuring everything and cutting it. And so I'm doing different amounts of each one. So the more inexpensive pieces of ribbon and twine, you can maybe add a couple of those, a few more strands of those to fill out your tassel. This is why I did the jute, but also because the solid jute plain, your eye needs a little bit of a rest place as well. So you'll see me a lot of times adding the solids in more. I put in this one strand of really nice fuzzy dark brown, and I leave it at that with just the one. I only do one strand of this nice velvet ribbon because it's a pale pink and it's kind of unique. And then I flipped that other yarn around because I realized it had a blue color on the other end of it, of the bit that I had cut off. And then I just use one of my pom-pom trim because that's kind of a lot. More is more in my opinion, but too much of that would be it would overtake the whole tassel, and that'd be all you looked at. And then finally I'm adding in some of this orange color, which is the color that I used to thread the beads, and I want to kind of make sure that that's throughout the tassel as well. So there I go, adding in that twine as well. I had a little bit of yarn, and then now I have some twine. I really like all the different textures, but you can totally just do, the same yarn in 3 or 4 different colors, something like that. And so now I'm kind of laying them nice and neat down. You can't really tell with that velvet ribbon, but the velvet part is face down. So we're going to kind of fold these over. So we want the pretty side of the ribbon or whatever we're looking at to be on the outside when we fold it over. So I'm kind of lining everything up and making sure everything's end to end so it will be nice and even and I won't have to trim anything. And also just making sure that not the same piece of twine isn't all next to each other, right? So my glitter ribbon is turned over where you see the wrong side is up. And, you know, very simple, not hard. So I fold it over and I think about excluding that really big dark brown ribbon, but I have that dark brown piece of yarn and I think that the dark brown ribbon that's really fat is a good anchor. So I put it in the middle so it'll kind of be an anchor and kind of everything will pop off of it really nicely. So all I did next was I got my binder ring. Since it's so chunky, I decided to use the binder ring. I probably could have threaded it all through the keychain ring, but it would have taken a long time. You can also do a smaller ring and then attach it a different way, if that makes sense. But I take just a really one of the thinner pieces of twine, and I just tie a knot around the edges, and I'll bring it around and tie it again. But that just makes like the head of the tassel. And that's really it. You could secure it with some hot glue, or you could even put a couple of stitches in it if you want it to be really secure, if you're worried about it coming apart. But I think since I tied 2 different knots, I think we should be good. And so now I'm just gonna use that same threaded needle that I already had that I used to bead. And I'm gonna thread it through that knotted piece of twine where I'm holding everything together. And just tie off the beaded bit. I'm going to thread this through that little wood grain piece that I have there and just kind of add any other of the baubles and charms to that outside. I even, I didn't show this on screen, but I even kind of glued the camera charm to the wood grain piece so that it would always display the way that I wanted it, so the charm wouldn't get turned around when it's hanging on the outside of the album. I add another bead here and a little charm that said family, and it's just kind of all on the same piece of thread, and it hangs down nicely. And it was super simple, but you could also do really intricate. I think Jessica did a video a while back about how to thread beaded charms, which I really love. I'm not very good at it, so this is super simple that almost anybody can do. You can just tie knots, you got it, right? So there's the final shots. I'm going to put them in the gallery and I'm going to link all of the options in this. Well, not all of the options. I'm going to link some options in the story because there's endless possibilities to create your own customized album charms. But I hope that you like this. And the last shot will be, I used my crocodile to attach it to my album. Bye, y'all.